Hey everybody, Robyn Graham, your brandographer here, and I'm excited because I have a guest joining me today. We're going to do a side-by-side live Facebook video, and my guest is Fashion Jeanne. So I will give a proper introduction to her as soon as she joins us, but we are going to be talking about fashion today for headshot sessions, branding sessions, things like that. So, oh, Jeannie's here, so let me add her in. Let's see if this will work here. Let's see. Add Jeannie. Joining us any second. It takes just a second for the video to load whenever there are going to be two people. So it's flashing adding, so she should be here any second.
Hey.
He's here.
I'm
Yay.
here. I figured it out. Wait, I'm trying to get you on my stand without disconnecting. Oh, there you are. Hi.
You are. You look fabulous. I love your glasses.
Oh, thank you.
So I just came from the tennis court, so I've got tennis clothes on. So don't
Awesome.
judge me today, okay?
Fine with me.
So everybody, this is Fashion Jeanne Rihm. And she is now known as the TEDx Lincoln Square fashion consultant. She did all of the clothing that everybody wore for the most recent TEDx Square.
Yes.
So congratulations.
Thanks.
And everybody did look great. I saw all the pictures and everybody looked fabulous.
Oh, thank you. It was such a great event. It was so inspirational and so moving and wonderful connections, and the whole vibe that Trisha and Jamie put together was just incredible. So
that's awesome.
Yeah.
Eventually we're gonna get there. Hi, Dana. Okay, so Jeanne, let's get started.
Yeah.
So I would love for you to tell my viewers, my fans, my audience, my clients, some tips about what to wear for headshot sessions. When women tend to come into my studio, one of the first things out of their mouth is, can you make me look 10 pounds lighter? They want to also be 10 years younger. And I say,
Yeah.
I'm not even, but I'll do my best. So anyway, do you have recommendations for people who are preparing for a headshot session, or even people who are in the professional environment to maybe do a TED Talk or maybe do something to help them look slimmer?
Okay. Well,
or like for me, with headshots, I'm thinking more like the neckline.
Yeah. I'm taking these off. They drive me crazy. A few things. I think the most important thing specifically for a headshot is you have to consider the neckline, and for women and for men really. But I specifically wore this to show you what I'm talking about. I have a long neck, and I can get away with more of like a blouse that is cut along the neck, more like a boat neck type thing. I can wear heavier jewelry because I have more room for it to sit. Okay. So, and I have a lot of clients who ask me a lot about accessories, but there's many women who have a really short neckline. And you have to be really, really careful because you're just going to look very stocky and kind of like scrunched up because you don't have all this room to play with. So what I would recommend is an open neckline, perhaps a button-up shirt that, falls appropriately open. And, like the shawl neckline sort of draping type thing. No turtlenecks. I just don't think ever. I think that's very dated.
Yes, I agree. And although I love turtlenecks in the winter,
yes,
I just don't think it's not flattering. And it does, like you said, it shortens the neck. So people look like their head is sitting right on their shoulders.
Right, exactly. And you need to take into consideration the color of what you're wearing. And I think that needs to go hand in hand with the industry that you're in. I know for spring that they have some beautiful colors right now, deep reds, beautiful violets and purples, and deep oranges and yellows. And while they're all just really beautiful, some of you just can't wear them. Yellow is really hard to wear. You have to have a very deep skin tone, something, if you have more yellow in your complexion, it's just going to look really, really bad. And so, like your industry, if it's more conservative and your headshot is for, let's say, for financial business or for an accounting business, something like that, you're going to have to be pretty conservative. I think like bright red, maybe it could work, but you just have to be really, really careful. So
yeah, I usually tell people more subdued color is better, and definitely no wild patterns. Just
yeah.
That takes away from their eyes and their smile if it's distracting.
Yeah.
But so, like, for example, this week I had a client in, and she's gorgeous, absolutely beautiful. But in her mind, she's over. And I think we all have a different perception of our body type and whether we're overweight or not overweight. And some people obviously are more sensitive than others. But she wore, the first top she wore was this beautiful blue, and it was a V-neck. Very flattering at the angles. It was very slimming on her.
Yes.
She also had brought a boat neck. And the boat neck, when photographing her, it was, no matter which angle we tried, it just was not, it widened her. It's the lines. You have to be really, really careful of your lines, because subconsciously, when we're looking at something, if we're cutting you off like this, it's not as flattering, because it's like you see this and then you see this. It's almost like visually you're looking at this block and you're looking at this block without you even really knowing it. But if you have something that's cut like this, your eye is just naturally going to go up the neck and up to the face. So it's strange, and it's crazy how your brain works, but that's what's going on there. Yeah, it's fascinating. And
it is.
Obviously, as a photographer, I work with the light and the angles of the light, and then the angles of the pose as well, for the most flattering and everything. But it really does make a difference as to what you wear. And you mentioned briefly jewelry and accessories. And for headshots, I always recommend subtle is better, just so that we're not distracting, like I said earlier, from their eyes and their smile, because we want people to see them as they are, and we want them to be approachable and really garner that emotional connection with their audience. So do you have recommendations? You mentioned briefly, like if you have a longer neck, you could wear thicker jewelry pieces. But what if you have a long or if you don't, do you recommend longer pieces? Like if I said, a longer subtle piece, or like what do you recommend?
Yeah, I mean, it's a combination of different things. One, of course, going back to your industry, you're not, and if you're going to wear a longer piece of jewelry, which can work, don't make it needs to sit flat. And what I mean by that is there's jewelry that have, like, they're actually like round balls. So they all actually have like dimension. They kind of stick out like right here. So I think the jewelry, see what I'm wearing? It's flat against my neck. Something that lays delicately, in the front is what you want. You really need to be careful that you're not mixing evening wear with day professional wear. And that sometimes tends to happen. Like they would wear, I have women who wear something to a cocktail party for business during the day, and for a headshot, that just doesn't work. So just be really careful about that. And getting back to the neckline for jewelry, if you have a shorter neckline, I would just go what you said, something really simple, and make sure it lays flat. The longer the neckline, you have a little more options, but again, be careful, because you want these headshots to last for a while. So you don't want anything really trendy. I know right now the rage is the pom-pom necklaces.
Yes.
Okay,
yes.
Which are really fun, but not for a headshot, because they're maybe going out of style for a while. So make sure what you're wearing for jewelry is classic and simple. Diamond stud, or, CZ stud, whatever you can afford. Not, it doesn't have to be diamond. I'm just saying, like a diamond-esque stud.
Although we like diamonds.
We like diamonds. And also, I also wanted to take into consideration we were kind of talking about color, and pastels are really hard to wear as well, especially women who are of the 40 and over age. Unfortunately, time is not really nice on our complexion, and we tend to get a little ruddy, unfortunately, and a little gray looking. So if you're wearing pastel, it may really wash you out. So just be really careful about that. I always recommend just a really beautiful jewel color, because most women and men, you know, in their blazers and in their dress shirts, jewel colors really seem to work with most complexions. And they're also timeless in color and work appropriate.
Jewel colors like blue as in sapphire, red as in ruby.
Yes.
Green emerald.
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. And yeah. Yeah.
So what the colors are, spring, the new trend for this spring is, you said more vibrant colors, reds, orange, and I've seen a ton of red. And red is a power color.
It is.
So it's great if you're in an industry like accounting or law or something where you have that need to exude some power, I think. Red too, I think, is hard to wear with certain hair
Yes,
colors.
it is. In fact, I was with a client yesterday and we tried on some of the red, and her complexion had a lot of red in it. And like an orange, sometimes color you have, you know, in your complexion. It just kind of didn't work. But how you can fix that is throwing a blazer on top of it. So, you know, you're not all red or you're not all orange. I mean, I love orange, but it may just be like too much orange for a headshot. So to tone it down a little bit, throw a really great blazer or a cardigan, or, you know, depending again on your industry and what it dictates and what you can wear. And now
I remember back when I was in the corporate world, blazers were huge, and then they kind of went away for a little bit, and now they're back. So what, as far as body type and wearing a blazer, as you know, short blazer versus long blazer, hitting right at the waist versus a longer blazer, what do you recommend in terms of, if you're tall and thin, I'm thinking you can wear a shorter blazer easier, but but what happens if you're shorter and stockier?
Oh, if you're shorter and stockier, I would recommend a blazer, a shorter blazer for sure. Because again, what I had mentioned before about your eyes and what we see, if a shorter person has a long blazer on, and I'm talking about a blazer that maybe hits them right at the hip line, right, or a little longer, all you're going to see is blazer. And they're going to look really short, and their leg line is going to look really short. So you can't go wrong with the blazer that kind of hits at the, I say like right at the hip bone or right below the hip bone. That being said, there are a lot of other components that go into it as far as proportion and structure. So that's a whole other kind of ballgame. But yesterday I had on, now I'm tall, I'm 5'7", and I also had a boot with a stack heel. So I was able to wear a jean with a longer blazer that came down past my butt. And that worked because I was also added height to myself because of my shoe. So again, it's kind of tricky. But once you figure it out, game over, then you know what you're doing and it's all good.
So Jeanne, these are great tips, and I think they're really going to help my clients and help me work with them as well. Most of them are tips that I pretty much follow anyway, but it's so awesome to have you, the expert.
Thanks, you. Thanks.
So I appreciate your time coming on with me. I'm thrilled, and I hope we can do this again in the future. But please tell my clients and my followers where they can find you and how they can hire you to be of service to them and help them with all their fashion needs for the spring and as they transition into the new seasons.
Well, thank you. Thanks for having me again. This was awesome. And I think a lot of women, they have a hard time understanding all this. And there are a lot of components to feeling good and feeling confident, which is what I'm all about. And I'm all about teaching women how to do it based on their body type. So I would love to hear from everyone. You can reach me on Twitter. Fashion Jeanne is on Twitter. I have a Facebook page. I'm on Instagram, and I'm on LinkedIn as well. And would love to hear from ladies. And I'm also putting out a lot of little vignettes called Off the Hanger. and they're, you know, 3 to 5 minutes. Just, I get a lot of women asking me just little things. Do I wear pantyhose? You know, how do I transition shoes? How do I wear a jean? So I just figured I would, you know, start these episodes, and would love for everyone to watch. And please give me questions. Forward your thoughts to me. I love doing this. I love women feeling wonderful. So thanks for having me.
Oh, my pleasure. I loved it. And I saw your little video yesterday, your boomerang, and those jeans were phenomenal.
You cannot believe the reactions I got to those jeans.
Oh my gosh, they were amazing.
Yeah, they're frame jeans, FRAME. And I usually post the hashtag, or, you know, at frame jeans. I usually put everything on there, what I'm wearing, most of what I'm wearing. That
was
fun
great.
jean. And you can find a jean, you know, in all different price points. Yeah, just make sure they fit right. You have to try on maybe 20 pair of jeans to find one that really works for your body. So have fun with it.
That is so true. Do you have a favorite brand?
You know, I like them all. And to me, the 3 hardest things for women to find are jeans, bathing suits, and a bra. Bras just take forever. I don't know what the deal is with the bra, but I would recommend you going and get measured for a bra. But you think you're one size, and then you go get measured, and you're like, holy crap, I didn't know I was, like, you know, this size. I like all kinds of jeans. I wear jeans from J. Crew and Banana, from the Gap to Hudson to Frame, Mavi. I mean, it depends on what I'm looking for that day. So, and it's nice to have a lot of different jeans. Even Levi's, I love. Yeah. So, all different price points.
Yeah, exactly. And the styles are also great. It's really kind of fun. You can really do a lot with denim.
It depends. Right. Yeah.
We got a little off track.
I know.
Back to the bra topic really quick. I would highly recommend in Doylestown, Sweet Blossoms. Patty is amazing, and she actually measured me. I'm divulging too much information probably.
Oh, I know them, yes.
But anyway, they're awesome. And you're right. It's a total shocker whenever you find out what your real size is and that you've been wearing the wrong size for like 20.
Yeah. I know. It's like, you know, I don't know if men have these problems, but, you know, certainly not bra problems.
Oh, shoot. Well, on that note, I'm going to let you go. But thank you so much for all the tips. Everybody, find Jeanne on all media sites. It's JEANNE.
Yeah.
Fashion. And look for that video that she did yesterday in those awesome jeans. Thanks, Jeanne. Have a good day.
Bye. You too.